welcome to the first demo compo of the day for what I have been told is Saturday. Earlier I was confused and thought it was Sunday, but as assembly is a 4-day event, not 3 days, this is the final day for compos and so forth. And this is the compo studio for possibly the most important compo of the day, the one scene compo, which is strangely named one scene and more, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a compo where everyone can participate, and that's what happens is everyone participates, and the results are astounding. And with me, I should have checked. Did you want me to call you Pavo, or how did you want me to introduce you? Because we have multiple names, so.
Multiple names, yes, but in this case, Paavo is proper. So,
all right.
Yeah.
You were one of the, well, not just the, Paavo and Biake were two of the people that were involved. There were a few others. But maybe you can explain better what it is, because you weren't just the organizer. You also did some additional things. So since I'm having trouble explaining this concept, maybe you can do a much better job.
Well, I can try, and let's make sure that there were four of us
Yes.
here, and also I wasn't the organizer of this thing. I was just, let's say, head of the educational part.
Yeah.
So.
Which is why it's so difficult to explain this. It's
Yes.
it's a lot different.
We need to explain now the background of the one scene competition. It's the roots of the competition are in wanting to involve more new people in demo scene and graphics programming and this kind of having fun with computers. So this is now the second time. Last year we had the same, and it's not only the compo. It's also in the program of Scene Lounge here in Assembly. There's this workshop. It has you have to sign in before, apply for your place in the workshop, and then when you come to Assembly on Thursday, we start. From scratch, basically no previous experience required, and then we demo. What does it mean to make a demo, and we teach what needs to be taught, and hold the hand of the participant while they make possibly their very first graphical program or demo. So we want this kind of beginner-friendly event that lasts for 3 days, and now the competition we saw, it's the final part where all the hard work of 3 days here have been done, and many people have their first ever demo program on screen. So I hope that the participants who made it to the screen have this kind of feeling that I had when I had my first demo in Assembly big screen. Of course, it was 4K intro back in a couple of years, but it's a very good feeling to be with so many people looking at your own entry on the screen, and when it's the first time, you can do that twice.
Yeah.
So this is what we want to provide here, and that's why we have the workshop. We have 4 assistants from I come from, of course, my university, and I'm teaching there as well, and sort of background is there, and in a demo party that goes on in Jyväskylä, so it's called Instanssi, and this workshop started there actually, and then Assembly picked it up, and now we're here. Yep. Together with Graphathon. It's another event, very good, and also the 3 other teachers are from Graphathon organizing. And then okay, there are the beginners and their first time demos. seen on the screen. But what I like about this competition in assembly is that you also, in addition, there are old-time demo sceners who are making beautiful demos, like the real stuff.
Yeah.
That's the goal, of course, is to make
It's
more
not-
and more beautiful stuff. But
You said hand holding earlier, but you don't really do the hand. It's not like hand holding.
No,
You don't say, okay, you're going to make a demo this way. It's instead, and you saw this in these productions. People had an idea. They worked with something, and they did something to completion, and they put it on the screen. So there's a number of things that I think are extremely that. They work in this competition, whereas they may not work in other areas, which is a good thing for both. But you have a even platform. Even though you have newcomers and people that have been doing things for a while, the limitations allow an even platform.
yeah, it's even, it's the same thing. One scene, maximum 60 seconds, and sort of the same kind of restricted rules that give boundaries to what you do, and it's the same boundaries for the old.
For the folks that have been doing it for a while
Yeah.
and the people that are doing it for the first
Yeah.
time. Another thing is that it gets on the screen we have here in the Screen Lounge is a big screen, and there were lots of people here. There were more people here watching this competition than there were for the dance music competition last night. This was a big audience, but it also was, it was friendly and people. It wasn't.
Yeah, you could hear applaud after each entry.
And it wasn't polite applause. It was, hey, that was awesome.
From the heart,
and,
yes.
and every single one of the productions, there was something to it. There were people throwing in small limitations for themselves. There were people that had that were doing. Well, there were some cases where somebody ran into an engineering thing that, okay, the next time they do a demo, they'll know that they have to tackle that. So there's
Yes.
learning in here.
Yes, throughout the workshop, there were things, very good learnings. It's not learnings about graphics programming. It is perhaps learnings about doing for one day changes in one file, which is not in the place that you expect it to be, and then somehow doesn't work on the compo machine. And sort of, I mean, when you do this stuff for a long time, you will have done this 100 times, and after 100 times, you know that, okay, let's check if the timestamps are correct in my file, and well, when you hit it first time, maybe it sticks. So the workshop participant doesn't have to do that 100 times like I have.
Yep.
But maybe next time, smaller time.
It was not something that I was going to mention as one of the things, but yeah, the knowledge transfer thing there, which is something that does happen in the demo scene. There's a shorter path of the knowledge transfer than, say, well, when we were doing things back in the day where we would go to IRC or you'd go to read a mailing list or whatever. Being here directly with people that you can ask, that knowledge transfer is also very important and very much a part of this particular. It's difficult to call it a compo. It isn't. It's a compo workshop.
Yeah, well, compo is a compo, definitely, but
It essentially is an awesome compo, and thus, I don't. And we can't just rename it from one scene to awesome compo, because that doesn't work either. One scene is growing on me as a name. This is a unique compo thing that I very much like it. I don't know if that's coming across.
Yeah, I like it too. One thing that I was a little bit worried about before was that there are these seasoned veterans who make very cool stuff in the same compo. So I was thinking, is this okay? But now when I see it happening now, I think it's a good thing. really to have everybody in the same competition, and with a wide range of, let's say, technical quality. Of course, your first demo cannot be as polished as your 10th or 20th demo, but I really like the concept.
Yeah.
This one scene, and that's all thanks to Assembly organizing, because we discussed this, and there's long experience of all sorts of demo events. So the rules of the one scene were fixed very well, I think.
Yeah, it allowed creativity.
Yeah.
It allowed people who were doing their first production. Of course, it's not going to be as polished as a person who's done it many, many times. But there were things in the polished things that were maybe missing that you saw in some of the earlier ones.
I mean, let's say the level of creativity in each of the first time demos that we saw, it's amazing. Looking at the process here, it's on Thursday there was getting ideas. I mean, starting from scratch, you don't have ideas what to do, but quite soon, after very small discussions, then these creative ideas, I want to do this kind of thing. Well, we saw many of those. It's like then the idea comes, and then we have 3 days to make it happen in a way. And yeah, well, sorry for the long talk, but yeah, I'm amazed about the creativity of the participants of the.
I told you beforehand, I want to let you lead this one rather than it be me talking the whole thing. I think it's I mean, you and the other three who led the workshops and so forth were, of course, a big part of it. And then, yes, assembly organizing for this whole thing to happen. And then the Scene Lounge with both the big screen and the area to sit and see things, and then the work areas. And even the Hack Lab. The Hack Lab right behind us did even mention that, they actually have for interested parties, people who want to learn to make something. There's a platform called Pico 8, or Paiko Kadaksan, and they have licenses. If you would like one, just come to the Helsinki Hack Lab and tell them, hey, I'm interested in a Paiko Udaksan. Udaksan, Kadaksan.
Yeah. We have Hack Lab in Jyväskylä as well.
Yes, you do. We have many Hack Labs. There's one in Oulu. There's one in, I think there's one in Kajaani. There's one in Vaasa, I think. And Tampere. Basically, if you're in a city or you're near a city, there's a Hack Lab that's near you. All of these things are creative outlets. And I think that is one of the great things that we see after assembly. And I mean, there's a culmination of things that comes to assembly or comes to a demo party. And then where you release your production, and then you collaborate with people both before and after. And then that continues after that until the next party. And that whole process is really what the demo scene is. It's not hardware. It's mostly social. It has creativity. It has ingenuity. It has engineering issues. It has all sorts of fantastic things where people's minds keep running.
Yeah.
And this is why this concept, I think it was fantastic. Maybe we should talk about some of the productions, though.
Sure.
You said that as you watched several of them develop, that was quite a bit of fun. So perhaps you could mention a few of them, and I'll touch on a few of the productions that I remember, and I liked various things about them.
Yeah, I made some notes. It's let's say that every one of them was brilliant.
I wanted it to continue.
But I can just tell you what comes to my mind first.
Yes.
I say it's the facepalm.
Yeah, really liked that one. Tell me about how that one developed.
Yeah, this is what I was also thinking minutes ago when I told about this discussions in the beginning. What to do? Like, let's pick a paper. Let's think about what you would like to happen on the screen, and then start thinking. And then I don't remember exact words, but it was, let's say, 15 minutes, and then somehow this idea, I want this face palm thing, like this palm, and it becomes a face, and then it's a face palm, and there's like a joke involved, and then the rest is technical issues. And this happened on Thursday, so we had 3 days to make it happen, right. Actually, and it did happen. You saw it on the screen, and yeah. Wonderful.
The thing about that production and many of your early productions that sometimes gets lost as you move further and further in your demo scene career. Early productions can have a level of humor that perhaps gets left behind in the process of polishing your demos. There isn't room for that humor, or people consider that humor might be misplaced. It wasn't just that one that had humor. There were others that had humor.
They had very nice.
And there were a few of them that had tiny little bits of humor that were hidden, that you just, oh, look, there, that one spot. And being able to, having those bits of humor in a compo like this, I'm going to make a segue into something that actually, the Mole Man documentary, Mole Man 2, there's a point in it where the Hungarians are talking about they had a kind of a joke compo, but a lamer compo, and it was where you would make the worst demo. Yeah, and after a while, it became the most popular.
Yeah.
But you can do things with humor here and put them on the screen and not worry about it, because it's an outlet for that type of thing. And that is a wonderful thing to have. And it's a kind of unique to this compo. So it's a blessing for that. What about some other? I could mention a few that tie right into that, but some others perhaps that as they developed.
Yeah, well, the second thing I remember most, it's the one with the radioactive box. I remember this because there were some technical issues that we were debugging. It's quite simple scene, as you can see. There's box and things, but we were debugging for hours. Now this vignetting is not working. Then finally it's like, oh, I'm stupid. We're all stupid. We're four teachers debugging for 2 hours, and
right.
and then okay, just put this here and this here, and then it works. But sort of, but this isn't in my mind because this was a win for the participant who made the one, and like, even if it takes hours, even if it takes 4 stupid heads of the teachers who finally get it at all. But then still, let's go to the next problem, and then finally you see a very nice looking demo with synchronization to music, and it's
so. Summing that up in a way, everyone has problems with their productions.
Always.
Every time. And
perseverance. It's like,
yes,
you go through the process of.
And you start debugging. You can ask others for help. Even experts can't always find it right away. And when you can't, it isn't that you yourself are stupid, or you can't accomplish it, or this is something that you should be able to do because, well, other people have done these amazing things. Everybody runs through these. Stress, or just being tired or being in a strange environment, not enough sleep, seeing it too many times, and since you've seen it so many times, the obvious answer, which is not the one that fixes this problem, but the obvious answer gets in the way. All of these things can stop you from doing it. Everyone runs into those. Do not let the trials and tribulations stop you from getting it out there. Everyone goes through those things. So that is a big thing for everyone to take out of this. But I think also the participants particularly, hey, they got to see, okay, everybody's struggling with this. Yeah. And I think that's really a great thing also with all of the participants. And they're very lucky to have actually been able to be involved with this. I would like to see this happen at more places. I am take to the bank, and I guarantee you they probably will. The other portion, I had mentioned this to you earlier, that development portion of it, watching those transitions and so forth. That's similar to what we see with the Shader Showdown.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You see somebody start again from scratch,
from zero. You start,
and then, okay, try this. This didn't work. Nobody said that in his shader, what he was trying to do in the first part, it didn't work. So he had to go back at like 10 minutes to go and start all over and just, oh, okay, well, luckily that one worked. So you can see this live this evening here on the stage at the Scene Lounge. After the demo compo, there will be the Shader Showdown finals. And so this is really something also to watch. I'd like to mention one of the productions. I saw one of the early things as the lady who was working on it. Also, a great thing about this is that it's not gender specific, which we get so many people, well, why aren't there more blah, blah, blah in the scene? Either Americans or women or...
yeah, I think our workshop, it was 50-50. So
yeah. So one of the ladies that was working on a production, she had an early version, and I could see how it transitioned to the end part. And I really like seeing what she had done with it. And she was one of the first-time participants, and she had said before, I heard from somebody else that she had said, we really don't have anything like this. I've never participated or seen anything like this. So it's great that people are able to learn about a great hobby from this.
Yeah.
I can go on about how excited I am for quite some time. Is there anything else you want to bring up about any of the parts, or perhaps something coming up with? I mean, Instancy is in February, yes?
I'm not sure if they have set the date for next year. There will be an event, and it has been in March, April-ish, if I remember correctly. But definitely there will be an Instancy, and instancy.org. Right. They will have the news, and of course the demo scene forums will get the posts when the dates are fixed.
I also think it's about a month before revision. It doesn't conflict with revision. Graphathon is right around Juhannus, as I recall.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And that's in the summer, and that's in Otaniemi and in Espoo. So that's another one. And let's see here. Are there anything coming up in the coming months, say before December? You know what we should do is we should just approach, because I know, and I'm sure that somebody's going to shoot me.
Let's go to scene.org and see.
Well, yeah, or I was thinking, we should talk to Pehu about doing this for doing this in winter. I wonder if we could pull that off. It might be too close to Instancy, though. I think that I'm getting a little buzzing in my ear, and it might mean, Truck, wrap this up. So I think we will now move on. We have the 1Ks, we have the 4. No, do we have 4K?
4K, we have 4K.
We have 1K, 4K, 64K, and demo compo all coming up this evening.
Yeah.
So loads more content, plus the shader showdown. Stay tuned to the channel. And there are also somebody's going to be speed running, or maybe already is speed running Earthbound, and I'm excited to see that. That's one of the great games on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So.
At this point, can I
Yes, absolutely.
talk to the camera and actually to people of Assembly and especially the participants of the workshop we had. Thank you so much. Thank you for the other teachers of the thing and especially the participants. Even if you didn't make your demo this time, maybe next time there will be your first demo. And I'm so happy that you were here and participated. Thank you for being here.
And for a person who didn't participate, one of the audience members, thank you for creating that. It is inspiring, and it's great to see all of the productions from the first timers all the way through.
Yes.
I was asking you earlier about if you would consider being on the Meteorics jury. One of the things that happens in the Meteorics, which is a celebration of the demo scene that happens every year at Revision, we have a category for the newcomers. So by participating in this, you might be mentioned again sometime later on in next year because of how inspiring your production was. Because really, these do inspire us throughout the year. And with that, I think we really should wrap it up. Because I'll just keep bubbling on about how excited I am about this. Thank you. Join us in a while for whichever compo it is that is next, which it might. Well, I'm going to look at the schedule. 1K is next. Wonderful. Yeah. We'll see you at the 1K compo.